Good morning. Good
All
morning.
right. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to, Brandon, turn it over to you for a minute. I'm going to see if I can do something with this buffering this morning. You guys, we have rainy weather, and unfortunately, this is kind of what happens. So, even though we are wired hard. So, Brandon, do your thing, and I'm going to try something really quick here, okay, to hopefully minimize it, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Welcome everybody to the In This Season podcast. I am your co-host Brandon, the second part of the dynamic duo of mother and son. The main host is the butterfly, my beautiful mother. Thank you for being here, Mom, for doing your tactical side over there. And she gets everything going. I want to see who all is in the comments. If you are attending, please, please, please send this to someone that you know. We are going through Dennis Kimbro's book, Daily Motivations for African American Success. Again, that's Daily Motivations for African American Success. I know a number of you have already gotten the book. If you haven't, please go ahead and do so. You still have uh, 300, well, no, you still have at least, 250 days left in the year. So there's 250 passages left or more that you can go through. And basically, what this book is, this is a book that helps you focus on the thoughts, the attitudes, and the deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short but powerful motivations, one, of course, for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and how to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So each daily motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. Again, one for every single day of the year. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches you will last a lifetime. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We got a couple people on the Instagram live, the YouTube live. Shout out to Barack the singer. Appreciate y'all showing so much love, man. Who else we got from the Facebook side? I see Brenda Davis, our champion, who's here every single morning. Yo, we appreciate you and we love you. We appreciate you being here. Y'all please share this. Um, So man, yesterday was a
Whew.
good day. It was a long day for me, but it was a good day. We had so much going on, and I think we accomplished. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I think we accomplished everything that we needed. I thought frequently about what our passage was, and so as I go to the, it never fails. If y'all remember yesterday, it never fails. Just as a quick review, our our um, our title, of course, was "Never Fails." Our passage, or our quote rather, came from James Brown, the Godfather of the Soul, who said, "I knew I had to make it. I had the determination to go on, and my determination was to be somebody." So it was about persistence. It was about going through those long days. It was about um, um, making sure to stay down for the cause. It was making sure to stay committed, and the difference that uh, how commitment looks versus someone who stops and goes, stops and goes, stops and goes. And our affirmation yesterday was persistence is the measure of how much I believe in myself, and I know that I'm capable of success. So I hope yesterday was beautiful for you all. I hope you all were persistent in yesterday, and I hope you use persistence as a measure for to see exactly how much you believe in yourself. You know. So thank y'all again for that, Mom. Is everything clear on your side? Are you still rocking, still working?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay,
I'm praying, and y'all
it looks
pray
good.
with me for because I guess AT&T can't do it, but God can. So fix them
Hey,
wires, God, fix them wires.
hey, shout out
Hmm.
to Barack the singer, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem to you, brother. That's my little brother in faith right there, man. So thank y'all. I feel a lot of love today, y'all. I've been waking up very grateful, man. Like just I don't know if I don't know if I told y'all, but last week I had some crazy stuff happen, and ever since then, I just been kind of waking up and feeling more grateful for the people and the spaces around me. Like I literally woke up and I was thinking, man, I live in a neighborhood with all these people, all these miracles just living in houses next to me, with their own stories, their own histories, their
Mm.
own children and struggles and obstacles and accomplishments. And so as we go through this today, and as you pass the people on your way to work or in traffic or whatever, just remember, even the person that beeped at you is a miracle. As much as they might annoy you, that's a little miracle right there, and there might be a lesson in it for you. So, Mom, how was your yesterday, and how did persistence itself help you, um, if at all, throughout the day? How did the daily motivation yesterday help you?
So my day went well. It felt like a long and a lot, it felt like a long day, and it felt like it was a lot of stuff within that day. I truly enjoyed class last night. We did journaling through the scripture, and the topic for discussion was Jesus. So it was just beautiful, y'all. I know you've heard us talk about it, but there is no words that will describe the experience. Um, and so we had cookie moments. Brandon shared, if you listened yesterday, I know Miss Brenda had cookies the day before as well. So I had one person for me. And then Brandon, you shared that someone told you about the cookies, and they had they mentioned 9 minutes. And so,
Man,
yeah, we were sitting at class last night talking about, because the young lady next to me said, Miss Tammy, I had cookies that night too. And so it's just like, I'm telling you, it's just like those little things y'all might think were crazy, but they're so beautiful to me, because it feels like we're creating this community, right, of
yeah,
people.
yeah.
And I almost said the name, but this young lady blessed me last night, because when she was speaking, she said, and Miss Tammy asked me to come, my friend Miss Tammy, and what I got to share with her later, and we won't be too long because I have to get off at 7:30 this morning. But I shared with her after the class that I asked family members as well and you may have as well, to join in on this class, because I thought it would be good as a family, to go. So I've asked family members to go that for whatever reason did not have not, right? But here it is, someone that I just met, like maybe a couple months now. I guess it feels like forever. It feels like we've just been
Right.
together forever. And I said, you barely know me, but you're here. And like she is studying. You see the highlighted from the Quran to the Bible, and she feels like she's getting an entire picture. So, oh, Brandon, I don't know what you're doing, but you are doing something that's making you,
I'm
oh,
good.
okay, there
I'm
we
good. I
go.
had to, yeah, I
um
just had to
I'll
stop
keep
for a second.
praying for this, keep praying for these wires to connect, right? So I don't want to get too long-winded, because I want to get into this message, but we need to do something like where we're not lost for time, where we can kind of throw all this stuff in together, like in a big pot, and make a pot of soup, of like-minded people. So y'all rock
All
with
right,
us,
great.
continue to rock with us, because we're going to do something great with this. When we finish this, we're going to do something great with this. We're going to create a community of like-minded people who refuse to give up on transforming their lives and renewing their mind. And so
And
continue to
and
rock
and
with
who
us.
refuse and who
Continue.
refuse to give up on others changing their life, that want to change their life and want to transform. I think that's so
Yeah,
huge,
that
that like,
want to. Mhm.
right, because I see so much judgment coming between people, because people are more concerned with judging others so that they don't have the time to judge and take account for themselves. They're so busy making accounting for others. Look what you did, you did, when there was more than enough within themselves to correct and take account for. So for me, that's the
Right.
that's really the essence of transformation. It's going into that cocoon. I mean, I know the caterpillar is not looking outwardly at all when it's transforming into that butterfly, to use your name and metaphor, but it's not looking outside at all. It
Mm.
actually has a chrysalis around it where it cannot see. There's a hyper focus on the inward self and the changing of that inner reality before anyone ever sees, um, that that butterfly. So, Mom, there's a little bit of feedback there. I didn't know if you caught that, but there's a little feedback on your side. But y'all, if we could, like, let's just jump
Yeah,
right into it.
I was actually saying hello to the people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just speaking to the people.
Well,
That
let's
was me.
let's
I did
let's
that. It was on,
jump
yeah,
right
by mistake, but
into
on purpose,
it
I guess.
today. Let's jump right into it, nonetheless. From March 8th today, our title is "Do I Have to Tell You to Do Everything?" Do I have to tell you to do everything? Is the title for today. Hmm. I got a little. That's got a little spice on it. That's a little. It's a little hot sauce on those words. Those words are coming out of a frustrated place. It seems right, or at least that's the connotation. Let's see what that title and what implications it has after or as we read this passage. But if you're in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. What does that title? Do I have to tell you to do everything? What does that mean? So our quote for today comes from Jewel LaFontant, who's a corporate executive, who said, "I wouldn't ask others to do for me what I wouldn't do for myself." I wouldn't ask others to do for me what I wouldn't do for myself. Interesting, right? I see. I like, Mom, when you look up like that, I know the wheels are turning. I wouldn't ask others to do for me what I wouldn't do for myself. Let's think about that. Um, let's go right into the passage here. When you trust the inherent worthiness of your dreams, visions, and intuitions, you start down the path that leads to happiness and success. But there are times when we fail to trust our worthiness, when we do as we are told and blindly follow others. Consequently, we live marginal lives. Ironically, some people have to be dragged, kicking and screaming, to a better life. There's a story of a sentry standing day after day at his post with no apparent reason for his being there. And one day, a passerby asked him why he was standing guard in that particular spot. "I don't know," the sentry replied. "I'm just following orders." The passerby then went to the captain of the guard and asked him why the sentry was posted in that location. "I don't know," the captain replied. "We're just following orders." The prompt, the prompted, this prompted the captain of the guard to ask the king. The king didn't know, but his curiosity was piqued. He summoned his wise men and asked them the question. The answer came back that 100 years before, an African prince planted a rose bush and had ordered a sentry placed there to protect it. The rose bush had been dead for 80 years, but the sentry still stood guard. He was waiting to be told to move. Each of us has a personal path that only we can follow. No one can travel this road but you. No one can force, drag, push, or command you to experience life's journey. You must take the initiative. It is only to the extent that we find the courage to walk our own path that we will be truly effective and at peace with ourselves. So the affirmation for today that we read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person and the people that you are going to send this to, because this is a powerful one, is: I do not need to be pushed, pulled, or forced to experience my good. I will lead myself to success. I do not need to be pushed, pulled, or forced to experience my good. I will lead myself to success. And last time, I do not need to be pushed, pulled, or forced to experience my good. I will lead myself to success. I like that one. I like that one. What do you think, Mom? It reminds me of a story that you told me uh, coming up. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Sorry, I try not to let y'all hear me typing the stuff up. Ham bone? Is
Mm-hmm.
it the ham bone, Brandon?
Yep. It's
Yep,
the
that's
ham
what I
bone.
was thinking about as you were reading it. The ham bone. I like this one. I like this one because, and you said something earlier for those who want to, like, for us to be intentional or whatever about helping people who want to, like, leaving that space and being there. And I think it's so important that we realize and that we're aware enough to know when to fold them and when to hold them. And I'm talking about people, because people will use your ear up and they ain't gonna do anything different. They're gonna keep doing the very thing that has them where they are. They have become addicted to feeling and feeling that way, being that way, and they know the why, but they also know the how. But and I think you've mentioned this too, Brandon. Like, people that I can't always fill your glass. You can't keep bringing me the glass back to fill it up. You got to put something in it. And so it's
Yeah.
important to recognize when you have to tell people who say they won't change, or yourself, do I have to tell you to do everything? Right?
Mm,
Some things, if you have a goal, if you have a plan, it should get to a point where that is front and center. Anything blocking that, you're gonna go around it. You're gonna back up if you have to, go another way. And it's kind of like we talked about yesterday, the missing ingredient, you know, determine what that is so that you don't have to keep telling you everything. Because when you are consistent, when you have persistence, when you are determined, when you have a goal that you've created a plan for, that becomes the beat of the drum. That's what you just start to walk. You become intentional. There's no way you can start to, I think they say it takes 21 days to create a habit. I don't know. I think more in this day and time, but once you become dedicated, intentional, you have the perception, you have the faith, and you start to intentionally live your life according to such, your life will change. Your life, you will change. And you will leave that person that you have become, that you thought you had become. You will leave that person so far behind until you feel, like I say, sometimes I want to change my name because I feel so different. I am so different,
yeah.
so different. So if people have to tell you when to do everything, anything, if you keep finding yourself going back to people or to yourself when you are meditating, spending time in your space, what's the missing ingredient? Something's missing in that cake or that cookie, those cookies that you're making. Something's missing. There's an ingredient for your cookies that only you need and only you have. And you know when it's missing. You know when you've added it. So I like this one, Brandon. This one might become my March favorite. I like this one
Your March
because
favorite is
truth be told, yeah, truth be told, you sometimes you like, do I have to tell you to breathe? Like, are you breathing? Do you know you're alive? Do you know you
right.
keep putting up with the same stuff and coming back with the same thing? Like, when does this end? When do you bring the cup with some water in it? Over
Yeah.
to you, because I'll get lost.
I
7:19.
was no, it's all good. It's all good. I was actually talking to a friend yesterday about, I don't know, like,
Mm,
for the group of people that I hang around, specifically like the brothers, right? I hate hearing men complain about their jobs. I really do. I hear all these dreams that these men have, right? And then they say, man, my boss is really kicking it to me, man, and this, that. You know what I mean? And I understand. And I said, well, what is it that you want to do? And they always have a dream or some aspiration or some ambition that's untapped, or
mm,
and largely, I mean, I'll
yes.
say under resourced, but at the same time untapped, because I promise, and I say this, out of love to them, that there's somebody with less than you that's doing more than you and having a better outcome. Right? There's somebody that has less ability than you, that's less talented than you, There's somebody that has less going for them than you, has more obstacles than you, that is doing what you want to do and is being better at it than you. Because instead of complaining about their current situation, they're forming a new reality by forming new habits, by changing the thoughts from their rebate mind to some type of corrective or progressive mind and intention. But the more that we speak about the issue and the problem, the more that becomes a habit, more it becomes habitual. So think about it. You said it takes 21 days to create a habit. Imagine someone complaining for 30 days in a month. How many times they complain on their way to work? How many times they complain to the
Mhm.
people that they know, and how that creates a pattern, that creates a circuit of comfortability to where they're used to experiencing those same emotions, those same sentiments. I was I was thinking, actually this was yesterday. I was thinking, you know, when I got my trash switched over from one from one company to another, to where another company I think does a better job in picking up the trash and being on time and coming, things like that. I remember being younger, just maybe 5, 10 years ago, and not pulling the trash out until like 5 a.m. in the morning, or when I would hear the truck coming down the street. I just wake up real quick. Oh no, I got to get the trash out. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might have left the trash in the kitchen. There's one that has to be taken, maybe the bathrooms. And I run out, throw the trash in real quick, looking like a fool, pushing real quick, in my house slippers and PJs, you know, and uh and did that so often, starting my day in a rush, that even to this day, if I hear not even my trash people, but if I hear the trash guys from the last business or somebody else's business, because there are three
Mhm.
or four that run through this, I still wake up with a sense of anxiety. Like, did I pull my trash out? Because of the procrastination of before, of creating a habit of procrastination to waiting to the last minute to go take that trash out. Now I have a little mini trauma, right? A little, it doesn't make a big deal, but a little mini trauma of anxiety. And that's how you start your day. So now you got to correct that. You know what I mean? So let's not build up negative habits, and let's realize that what we do on a daily basis is habitual. You think that every time you're experiencing these things for the first time, or why do I keep having the same struggles every day, or why do I still feel the same way as I did a year ago? It's because you are deciding to feel that way. You have made a choice to repeat things over and over again. And so now you have to make a new choice. You have to be intentional and purposeful in the way that you feel. I tell people this, that like, I can't make you feel anything. I think it's a very weak state of being, meaning you're not within yourself or you're beside yourself if someone else can make you feel a certain way. Somebody said, "Oh,
Mhm.
you made me feel this way." No, I felt that way, but you didn't control that. I did. I am responsible for my feelings. I am responsible for my emotions, because if I'm not, then I am at the mercy of whoever can create the biggest reaction out of me, right? And so I don't want to react, right? I want to respond. If I just react, this is completely based off of my emotion, completely based off of my impulse, completely based off of a very quick sentiment, and not even a decision. But if I respond, that means I took the qualitative information that I felt in my heart, and I responded to it by sending it through the filter of my mind, of my values, of my etiquettes, of all these different things, of my aspirations, and then I acted upon it. But I think people are so stuck in this emotional way of going about their life, and not saying that emotions are bad, because those emotions should inform your decisions. It's an intuition that you can't that gives you information that you can't get with just rationale. So it is to inform, but it's not to make the decision for you, right? But people are so stuck in making these very quick, impulsive decisions that they don't realize that they're trying to do calculus while running away from a lion. They put themselves in a state of emergency really quick. You can't imagine running away from a lion and somebody asking you a very simple math problem. You're running away from a lion. What's 12 times 12? How many people will say 144 as they're running away from a lion? You can be the best mathematician in the world, but when that lion's behind you, which are your habits, your bad habits that you created and don't even know, you created that monster. You created that lion that's chasing you. You created that emotion. You're responsible for it. Even if you don't think you created it, you are responsible for it because you carry it around. You can't do that calculus. So do I have to tell you everything? Do I have to tell you to do everything? If there's something that does not make sense to you, then you should question it. You should challenge it. If there's a custom in your family, like we were talking, Mom, about the ham bone, right? And of course, I don't eat ham or anything, but the ham bone, that might be. I don't think we have time today, but that might be something else that a story that we might want to share with people, about the wasting of food for years and years and years, just because someone saw their mother do it, they saw their grandmother do it, they saw their great grandmother do it, and it ended up being they were cutting off a ham bone or a piece of meat, basically, every single year when they would cook ham, and they didn't know why they were leaving this whole quarter of a section of the ham off. And the reason was that their great grandmother didn't have a pot big enough for the whole ham. And so every single generation was cutting off the ham because that's just what they saw being done. How many generational ignorances, right? Are you perpetuating? How many things that no longer apply, right? And they don't take away from your morals, your values, or your culture. But what are you carrying over from the time of jahiliyyah, or the time of ignorance, into your life? And what habits are generational that
Hey,
we
Brandon,
continue?
I want to ask a question with that too. What
Yeah,
are you keeping alive? What traumatic experience? Because trauma has become a popular word for us, and I feel like it's almost one that keeps us comfortable, right, in
hmm,
where we are. Like I have a reason to be this way. Well, you have a reason to leave that, like because the traumatic experience, that thing is not happening right now. Like in this
right.
moment, it's not happening. It's alive. Like it's alive. You're keeping it alive. You keep birthing it through your thoughts and things like that. Before we come to a close, I want to go back to I wouldn't ask others to do for me what I wouldn't do for myself.
Oh, yeah, the
Oftentimes we
quote.
do that, right? And so you have to personalize that. But when you brought up the trash can about getting up, going out there, 5 or whatever time when you hear it, how many times or did you miss it? And if you did you like stupid workers? They should have came later. Like, did you find yourself sometimes during that period where you would like get mad at them?
Absolutely, because you know what? Like they said a certain time, right? Like on the contract, it says that they're gonna come at a certain time. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make sure. When I get up for Fajr, I get up to pray my morning prayer. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go and take care of this trash can. And they would come early sometimes, and who am I? Who am I to get upset at the trash man for coming to do his job early? Right? He's coming to do his job early, and here I am late. You
That's
supposed to
what I
be here
want.
an hour later, and this man got a million other houses to go and pick up their trash from, so he's getting his day started. And instead of looking at myself, it's so easy to blame somebody else, to be like, nope,
There you
it's
go.
their fault. So I'm not taking the
Yep.
responsibility or accountability for my own actions because I'm saying you are the one that made me feel this way. When really I could have got my tail up,
Right.
or I could have did it the day before. So
Therefore,
you,
yep. And
yeah.
the other thing, when you trust the inherent worthiness of your dreams,
Mm.
you start down the path that leads to happiness and success. Do you trust your worthiness? Do you think you're worthy? And then it goes on, but there are times when we fail to trust our worthiness. When we do as we are told and blindly follow others, blindly follow people who are blindly following someone else. So
Yeah.
wait, so where are we going? And how are we gonna get there if everybody is blind? Put your glasses on, find your ingredients, and bake your cookies the way you like them, the way you were created to like them. Be the Popeyes that's thriving amongst churches and KFC and whatever else there is. Because now you got the corner stores selling that good old, what's the name of that chicken? Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it. Crispy crunchy something. And now you got the gas stations, the corner stores selling the chicken. I'm so serious. So what is it? I mean, we're using cookies, but I'm saying if they can thrive, if CVS, Walgreens, um, Family
Right.
Dollar, General Dollar, they sell the same stuff. Rite Aid, the grocery store, they got the medicine and all that too. Clothes, shoes, now everybody got it all. Be the man that says, you know what? I'm good today. I sold out. Go down to my brother. You missed that story if you didn't join us a few days ago. Brandon shared the story about the man coming in looking for shoes. And he said, no, I'm fine. I did good sales today. Go down to my brother.
Yeah, it was a
Like
marketplace
you,
over in
do
there.
you trust your stuff that much? Right. Do you trust your stuff that much to be like, I'm good today, go down that way? Or do you try to get it so much more? Do you want it for tomorrow, next week, next month, and all of that? But I know that's a little off the topic, but do I have to tell you to do everything? And as I come to close, I'm looking at the numbers, and not that it matters a hill of beans to us, but I'm really thankful for Miss Brenda, who shows up consistently. I don't know if she's been here every day, but it feels like she has. And so that's even that. Like we will get started with things that help us. That's with doing the natural things as far as taking natural medicines and things like that. Notice how you'll find something even for your hair, ladies, that you like. And then after a while, you've gotten something new, and there's this stuff that you did like half full. It didn't stop working. You just needed something more. You just wanted something more, not needed. And so things like this, when you find things that feed your spirit, that bring value to your life, you start the race. You start out, but slowly, most people then dwindle down. And then we have to tell you to show up. I'm out of that business. I'm not forcing anybody. If God doesn't put it on my heart to call and tell you, Tammy ain't doing it. Because you got to bring, you can't come up and want me to go get a glass, bottle of water, pour it in there, and then put it up to your mouth so you can drink it. Oh, no. Not in this season. You got to want it. You at the door, had a glass and the water. I pour it up, sit down, we'll have a conversation, but don't come back with the same situation. Don't come back with the same situation. All right, over to you as we try to bring it to a close.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Y'all, thank y'all so much for rocking with us. I just have a couple more
Are you
things.
buffering?
Am I buffering? All right. Y'all know every time it rains in Memphis or in our surrounding
I
area,
think
for
you're
some
okay now.
reason,
I
things
think you're
go
okay.
haywire. Okay, cool. Again, this is the title for
Overall,
today's
Brandon, it
passage.
did really well though, because it was really bad.
Okay, cool. It's all good. I can't see it, but I'm thankful for it. But our title today was, "Do
Right,
I
it's
have
all
to
good.
tell you to do everything?" Everything. And when you trust the inherent worthiness of your dreams, visions, and intuitions, you start down the path that leads to happiness and success. So I'm glad that you brought that part up about trusting yourself. I don't think people trust themselves. And there's a number of reasons maybe why, but one way that you can start to trust yourself is to set a schedule. Set a schedule for your day, for your week. Have similar things that you're doing that benefit you, and create new habits. So much of unlocking your potential is creating new habits that serve you and deleting old habits that don't serve you. Take a walk in nature. Get your own space. Set a schedule. Get a set time to wake up, a set time to go to sleep, which I need to do that part. So I'm speaking to myself first on the set time to go to sleep. But start to do these things that are indicative of persistence, that foster up reliability. Because how do you trust someone? By spending time with them. And so if you spend time with them, y'all got to meet somewhere. Y'all got to have certain types of conversations. So all the things that you're willing to do for someone else, do it for yourself. Just like that quote said in the beginning of the passage, I wouldn't ask others to do for me what I wouldn't do for myself. You can't love nobody else until you love yourself. If you do, it's a very weak and unsubstantiated love, and you can feel it. You can tell when somebody's loving you out of a place of pain instead of loving you out of a place of love and a place of compassion. It's a really weird difference. It's somebody who has a compulsive need almost to express themselves or take care of someone else, and it always leads to calamity. So guys, don't make it to where somebody has to tell you everything. If you're sitting there holding your breath during the game Mother May I, and Mother hasn't said that you can breathe
Hey,
again,
Brandon.
please breathe.
Hey,
Yes,
Brandon,
ma'am.
let's bring it to a close because you're
Oh yeah, you gotta go.
buffering really badly. I was gonna say, let's go ahead and bring it to a close because I think we heard every other word. It's buffering pretty bad.
Okay, bet. All right, so in the interest of time and the buffering, again, the title was "Do I Have to Tell You Everything to Do Everything?" Our quote was, "I wouldn't ask others to do for me what I wouldn't do for myself." And our affirmation for the day, what you're going to take home with you guys, what I really want you to take home with you is, I do not need to be pushed, pulled, or forced to experience my good. I will lead myself to success. I do not need to be pushed, pulled, or forced to experience my good. I will lead myself to success. And last time, say it with your inner voice. I do not need to be pushed, pulled, or forced to experience my own good. I will lead myself to success. Put your hands back on the wheel, y'all. Put your hands back on the wheel. You are the captain to your own ship. Go out there and get it today. Motivate yourself. Tell yourself what you need to do and follow your own direction. I love y'all. This is the end this season podcast with your beautiful host, the Butterfly, my mother. I love you. And B. So y'all take care. We'll be here same time, same place tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Time on the End of Season podcast. Reading from Dennis Kimbro's Daily Motivations for African American Success.
Oh, great. So Trent says you weren't, they could hear you. So it's just maybe on our end, but he said you weren't buffering. Thank you for that, Trent.
Yeah, I felt good. I think
thank you for rocking with us. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you. But on this end, yeah, mine was before, yeah, you were buffering for me, but before we even started, something was going on, but the weather is rainy and bad out here. So I don't know, because I'm hardwired. So I don't know. But thank you for letting me know that. That makes me feel much, much better. All right.
Cool. Well, we love y'all.
Thank y'all for rocking with us.
Peace. All right. Tomorrow. Peace.
All right. Peace.